Okay, so this week I took a look at the modern list from Worlds. Um, I wasn't super happy with a lot of the things going on to the point where I thought I'd be interested in trying them. Like the Jeskai Ascendancy deck looks good, but now that the joke's out and everyone knows what's up, I think it's a lot easier to attack than it was at that tournament. But this was actually something that really looked interesting, and this is Shahar's burn deck. Um, And this is something I'd actually been told about a little while ago, is these burn decks sideboarding Geist of St. Traft as a way to kill your opponent that kind of dodges most of the typical hate. It doesn't lose to Dragon's Claw, or it can fight a core Firewalker in combat and all sorts of stuff. And then Shahar took it a step further, which is playing Mutagenic Growth in the main as effectively a free burn spell. You know, as you pay 2 life, they take 2, because you have such a high quantity of creatures. But if you're boarding into the Geist plan, this card gets very, very good. So, the reason the Geist plan actually works is that you naturally would want to play Boros Charm and Treasure Cruise anyways. So you just have access to that mana regardless of what you were doing. I think if it was an additional splash, I'd be a little more hesitant. But because I wanted to play 2 mana 4 damage and 1 mana draw 3 cards, it's pretty easy. It's also worth noting that Mutagenic Growth has pretty good synergy with Treasure Cruise in terms of getting things into your graveyard faster to let you actually just kill your opponent faster. Um, It also has really good synergy with one of the newer game plans of this deck, which is kill your opponent on turn 3 with a multiple Goblin Guide or Swift Spear hand. Just the ability to have, like, you can actually go under a lot of the combo decks with one of those hands, and this card means that your mana is never going to really hamstring you on that. 20 lands might be one too many, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to trust Jahar's judgment. As for the board, it's all pretty typical burn stuff beyond the Geist. I'm not 100% sold on Combust being the best card to do that kind of thing with. But I guess previous cards have been like Rakdos Charm. You definitely don't want to splash a third color. So some amount of interaction, I guess, is needed for twin players. But this card is the most likely cut, and I could easily see going up to actual Searing Bloods on top of Blazes, getting real spiteful towards those kinds of decks. But this is all without playing a game. So I guess we'll see in a few minutes as to how this actually plays out.